Hey there. Welcome. This is Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Now, it's Thursday at 7-ish p.m., and I'm the one that assembled this team of heroes. I'm Chris of the Northwest, and we're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the globe. So while you celebrate Earth Day by not finding an Earth cache, you need to do that on Earthcache weekend a little later in the year. We'll be caching or Earth caching or not Earth caching in the Northwest.
What do I hear Larry Boy in my head saying? I am that hero.
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm wit's end because you seem to have compiled quite the pile of W's here. I'm your witty yet wonderfully watchful, warped, wasteful, weary, whiny, wimpy, worn-out co-host to kick things off with a seismically silly setup. It says so right here in the show notes, so it must be true. I'm ready to rumble into a topic that's been building pressure for centuries, and trust me, you'll want to stick around for the aftershocks. Because when it comes to the Cascadia subduction zone, well, there's more happening beneath the surface than most cachers realize, and one detail in particular might just change the way you plan your next adventure. But we can't do anything until we bring in our third co-host here. It's time to bring in our marmoset of the mega thrust. Some say he can always tell if someone is lying just by looking at them. Others say he can also tell if they're standing. All we know is he's called a land monkey.
Hello, my friends.
How do, sir?
All right. So, how was, do you feel like you need to take some time off now, Jim? Is that just a little bit too much to start the podcast?
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
any excuse.
That's it. He's gone.
There you go.
Okay. We'll bring him back in with his super suction ears.
There you go.
What was wowing one?
Something like that, indeed. All right. Well, now we're in the wrong order. Now it just feels weird.
You're out of order.
This whole place is out of order.
Hmm.
You're just gonna keep shuffling around, Chris?
You can look down at Chris. Look down and say,
you feel better?
I feel better. This is my home. I don't know how Jim
this
feels.
world is not my home.
Good point. All right. Well, folks, a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. And our corporate Denali level supporters, of course, we always mention them first. And we'll lead off with Land Sharks. They are, as a reminder, they are hosting a Maker Magic event on April 21st. That's coming up pretty soon. At 9:30 in the morning, where they will share their pro tips on painting camo geocaching containers. So after 20 years of perfecting their technique, they are sharing their secrets at Island View Beach Park. So log your will attend today at GC Bravo. My brain went blank.
Mike Victor Kilo Juliet.
Mike.
There you go. Wow. Just blanked completely on me. Thank you very much, Wits End. So check out that event. And, otherwise, if you just need some geocaching containers, caching gear, or just something to get your geocaching on, order it today from landsharkz.ca. And if you've got the container, but you need a device either to get some hiding coordinates or to go out and find a container somebody else has hidden, and you are using an iPhone, well then, my friend, you should be using Cachly. That's right. Version 8.1 with Cachly Pro features offline maps of the entire planet and soon possibly other planets so that you can navigate while you're offline. Delorme, counties, finish those grids, CarPlay support, hashtag take Wits End caching, and find the Cachly iOS App Store. Find it in the Cachly. I'm going to start again. Find Cachly in the iOS App Store or go to cachly.com.
Easy for you to say.
Land Monkey, you just wanted to prove that this is not a recording. We don't say the same thing every week. Well, we kind of do, but we kind of don't.
Sort of.
Well, I try and change it up every week a little bit, keep it interesting.
But if somebody out there has downloaded the podcast, isn't it a recording?
Ooh, pre-recorded
Okay.
for your entertainment. All right. Hey, another one of our great sponsors is the guest from last week, and that would be Tourism Valemount. So every season's offering unique adventures alongside nature's beauty. The vibrant village offers local charm, unique geocaches, warm hospitality, and unique cultural experiences. So whether you seek outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you.
I think we all need a peaceful retreat.
Don't we? I could use one.
Piece of something we could use.
Yeah.
Piece of pizza.
Mm. Yeah, you got our attention.
Okay. Well, we know what you guys like.
Well, folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, check out and click on the Patreon link in the cachingnw.com website.
Thank you so much. Now, tonight, we are going to talk about the Cascadia Subduction Zone. This is a different episode of Caching in the Northwest. We haven't
Earth caching in the Northwest.
Exactly. It's Earth Day, and we're going to celebrate that by talking about, the geologic feature that identifies the Northwest above all else. Now, Cascadia Subduction Zone, that's a lot to type. I'm going to make it easy for you. CSV or CSZ. Sorry, I'm going to make it even harder because I can't get it right the first time. It is not a comma separated value. No, it is a Cascadia Subduction Zone.
Comma separated zebras.
Oh, I like that better.
Or zebra, if you prefer.
Zebra. Use hashtag CSV to ask anything in the chat.
No, don't.
Or CSZ.
CSZ.
Wow. Use that
He's gonna keep
hashtag
doing that tonight,
screen,
folks.
and I've said once already tonight correctly. And you can use the hashtag FTAS, that's FTAS, I had to go slow, to bring up any topic you want in the after show. Don't forget, if you have other questions, and maybe you're not watching live, jump into our Discord server. You can find that address right there on the cachingnw.com website. And I show a hashtag, one more, for podcast drinking. Why do we have podcast drinking tonight? Land Monkey, why don't you tell us why?
Well, you know what? It's something that sort of organically started from our live listeners a couple of years ago, I think. And it's not prominent on every podcast, but sometimes folks remember to bring it up. And then, Bryline goes and puts it in the show notes so we don't forget. And and the idea is, you know what, if you're enjoying some sort of beverage while you're watching the podcast, regardless of whatever it is, it's same as hashtag podcast baking, because often we have found that some folks like to bake while they watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. I think that's fantastic. So share with us, what are you drinking? What are you baking? Why are you even here?
What's it all about, Alfie?
I know, right? Anyways, that's my background on hashtag podcast drinking.
There you go.
Yeah. What is a CSZ?
Well, stay tuned.
Some have asked.
Some have.
7-Up, 0. I think that was the price, Keats.
Or does that mean like he'd like to be drinking 7-Up, but he has none?
Oh. Orange Pico Tea.
Oh, very classy.
It's pronounced CSZ. Sorry.
It is up here.
Or is it just seized?
Seized. It's what I'm doing. It's seized.
Exactly. My knee sees it on the walk. Yes.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into some news very quickly before we get into the CSZ topic for the evening. Let's jump all the way across the country to Pennsylvania, why don't we?
Okay.
Pennsylvania has launched the DCNR. I believe that is the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources or something like
very
that.
Good.
America 250 PA GeoTrail. PA is, Pennsylvania abbreviation. Yeah.
It's Father's Day.
So, America, we're all in North America. 250, there's the semi-sesquicentennial right there. There we go. I had to find it. NPA for Pennsylvania. Anyway, this is a special geocaching trail created to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the US of A. Trail features 25 themed geocaches, each placed in a different Pennsylvania state park. Every cache highlights a unique piece of the state's history that's connected to that park. The trail runs from April of 2026, that's, well, now, through March of 2028. So you don't have to do it this year. You've got lots of time. You've got plenty of time to visit all 25 parks. And if you complete the full trail, find all 25 caches, you can earn a commemorative completion coin. No word yet if it's trackable, but probably is. Who knows? So, state and America 250 PA leaders say the Geo Trail is designed to help people explore Pennsylvania's landscapes while discovering the stories that shaped the nation. For coordinates, rules, participating parks, well, geocaches can just trot over and visit the official DCNR America 250 PA Geo Trail webpage. No URL is listed.
That was right. There was no URL listed. That was not a clickable link. That was just a description.
Yeah. So just Google DCNR America 250 PA, and you're bound to find it.
You know,
Interesting.
we have a brief interruption from our chat lackey.
Hmm.
Normally, the chat lackey sits very quietly, but sometimes,
Normally, he's not paying attention.
exactly, but sometimes he makes noise. He says a list of major magic events, maker magic events, maker magic events. Say that 10 times fast. Will be added near the end of this episode. Please leave a couple of minutes to list them before the after show. So if you're going to any major maker magic events,
Ooh.
or any minor maker magic events,
Can you major in the minors?
you can major in the minors, yes, but you can't minor in the majors
Okay.
unless you're a minor in the majors. Anyway, if you're going to a maker magic event, let us know about it. If you're hosting one, we want to know even more about it. So, what is Chris hashtag podcast drinking? Don't you guys wish you knew tonight? Yeah, here it is right here. Water.
Ooh, fancy cup. He claims water.
He claims. There's
My
no
water's-
way to see.
My water sparkles.
Ooh, you got the fancy water
Sparkly, shiny.
where they took a piece of fruit, passed it over the sealed can, and said, "Here, this has
Pretty much.
flavor now." Okay, so here is another chunk of news from the Washington State Parks. Now, it's Earthcache weekend. I realize this is short notice, but
It
they
is
only
Earth
sent.
Day weekend.
Boy, you want to read this? Maybe I shouldn't.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
Trust me.
It's Earth Day weekend, and I would give you more notice, but they just sent this out this week. So this is the 16th as of recording. The 18th and 19th of April, Washington State Parks are going to do some fun things. If you want to go to Fort Flagler, they're having a night watch. You enjoy the sunset with the park staff, and then light up the sky with a restored World War II searchlight.
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Which one is Fort Flagler? I can't remember.
It's on the peninsula somewhere. I forget exactly where.
Let's say that.
Oh, is it the one? Shoot, right by the ferry.
While you look that up, let's keep going.
Okay, keep going.
If you want to go to Peregrine Lake, you could see the Dark Sky Coalition Astronomy
Ooh.
Interpretation.
That one does
So-
interest me.
International Dark Sky Week with a former NASA astrophysicist, Tux Dibbins.
Ooh,
Huh.
even a cool name.
Yeah, I like his pads.
Tuck pads?
Yeah, the Tux medicated pads. Those are good. I'm sure he invented those.
If you go to Pothole State Park, I'm just rolling right on here. You have the I Spy Making Connections with Nature. Go on a family-friendly French Loop Trail. I don't know what Frenchman Loop Trail is. It sounds like a something else. Anyway, where you play I Spy with an interpretive specialist. If you go to the Harrison and McMicken Islands, you can do an Earth Day hike. Now,
Ooh,
April
across
20
the Tombolo.
if you go to April 23rd through the 29th, so next week, so you got a little bit of time.
Okay.
In Deception Pass, which may or may not be true, there is a family in nature, an interactive 90-minute program with story time, creative play, parent-led activities, and craft, perfect for ages kids 2 through 5. I guess it's not good for the parents, but it's great for the kids.
Fair enough.
If you go to the Columbia Plateau Trail, there'll be an Earth Week walk with Ranger Corey Carpenter.
They're just being cruel to you with this news story. It's like everything is alliterative.
Now, another one at Fort Worden. Okay, that's not Flagler, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, here you go. Edwardian Elegance, a stroll through time. Celebrate the transition from the Victorian to the Edwardian era with period attire.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
there you
like
go.
some of those streaming Netflix shows. Dearest reader. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm watching this, aren't I? So there you go. There's some things to do with the Washington State Parks. Go look on their page. You get the times, you get the dates. But some of these I thought were really quite fun. I've done some fun things with the state parks before.
That sounds like a lot of great programs coming out in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for sharing those, Chris, even though it was a struggle.
Well, thank you. Next, we have a bit of news that we don't have to read. I'm going to rest my vocal cords, my speech center of my brain for a bit, and let's watch a video from a very cheeky Brit. If I can find where I hit it. No, I cannot find where I hit it.
This is great for an audio podcast.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Though?
Wait for it.
He's headless.
Is everybody excited?
Okay, I had it open in somewhere.
It's
You
on
can
the
see it.
screen.
It's
Yeah.
right there.
I know, but it's on a YouTube page that I have to go find and play.
Too many tabs open.
Different tab, control tab, alt tab.
All the tabs.
Put it on my tab.
Tab
Put it on
like
his tab.
diet tab.
Tabulation.
Here, I found it. Here we go.
Hey.
Oh, hey there. Coming up August 22nd, there'll be a big event called Challenge Fest in Pocatello, Idaho. Much like Cache Fest, there's a challenge passport. No need to sign anything. Use your finds in the 200-day run-up to complete 3 trails of virtual challenges of increasing difficulty, and each trail complete earns you a coin. Show up at Challenge Fest to prove your valor, pick up your coins, and you can solve some large puzzles. Fit the coins in place to complete the picture. Follow the lines you made and read off the numbers to find the missing coordinates. If you can't quite beat a trail in time, there are 3 alternate obstacles to earn each of those coins, like launching a rubber band into a target or climbing a net. We'll also be unveiling Benny the Bengal's Challenge of Challenges, but that will be revealed later. There'll be other repelling events like this throughout the weekend. So we look forward to seeing you there.
And there you have it. See, I found it. How come I can't do
Wunderbar.
Land Monkey? Land Monkey got broken.
I had muted myself because that worked really well. The audio on that worked quite well in rehearsal, but when you just played it live there, it was very echoey for me. Hopefully it wasn't for our listeners, but
I apologize.
well, that's quite all right. I was assuming you probably weren't looking at the show notes.
I
because
wasn't.
the chat lucky was being subtle and you missed it.
Oh, sorry. I had such a time finding the link. And anyway.
I'm joking for those listening because you would have no idea, but in the show notes, basically a full page sized font, he had typed echo to try and get Chris's attention, and it worked really well.
That print was so cheeky, it just grabbed my attention.
It's the accent. Yes.
So, folks, welcome back to Caching in the Northwest.
Oh, it was Wits End, not the chat lackey who was typing that. Okay, there you go.
I was going to let him take credit for it. Fine with me.
Either
That's
way,
chat lackey.
if folks were having, so if it was too echoey and folks are having a tough time getting the details, where would they go to get more information on that if they're curious of what's going on in Pocatello, Idaho?
Well, I don't know. I closed everything down.
All right.
Now you
Well,
want me
wait
to go
for
Tabby, close the tab.
hashtag FATAS and
There you go.
we'll pull it back up then.
Well, Fear the
All right.
Tube says no echoes there. So maybe it was just for the host.
Good. All right. Maybe it's just us.
We can
All
live
right.
with that.
We can.
You can go to geocaching.com/challenges/11590. I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that
Oh,
either.
that doesn't work. No, he's got 2 slashes in here. And gc.com doesn't work. So I can't click the link. Anyway, let's move on.
Indeed.
I have no idea where my show notes are now. Okay. No, that wasn't it either. Here we are. Hey, welcome back to Caching
Entertaining
Northwest.
audio tonight, as always.
I'm telling you.
We're going to talk about the Cascadia Subduction Zone, a chain of volcanoes and earth caches that help us understand what makes them all worthwhile, all front and center. It's a topic that shapes our landscape and our adventures more than most of us realize. So settle in as we explore the shaky yet fascinating world beneath the Pacific Northwest.
Fun. Yes. And nothing says fun evening like talking about a fault line capable of rearranging the coastline. But hey, if the ground's going to move anyways, we may as well learn something cool from it. And who doesn't love a good earth cache? So I'm looking forward to digging into this topic. And honestly, geocaches are probably the only people who are earth cachers, the only people who would respond to an earthquake with, oh, I wonder if there's a new opportunity for an earth cache. But yes, tonight will be the perfect blend of danger and nerdiness. I'm excited. How about you, Wits End?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if that big one hits while you're out caching, imagine the creative log that you could get. Nothing's going to top that. You could have found the cache, lost the trail, Lois Lane fell into the chasm, Superman spinner. Oh, wait, no. But I did gain. Yeah, I did gain a new appreciation for plate tectonics, because who doesn't love plate tectonics? But
Also
seriously,
an
though,
awesome band name.
well, yeah, I'm looking forward to learning a little more about the geology around us that makes caching. Well, it just makes it more meaningful. It turns every cliff, river, valley, volcanic ridge, etc., into a story, a cache. And that's what we're diving into tonight. We're diving into that chasm to rescue Lois Lane.
Wow. I suddenly feel very responsible. Hey, let's start with the basics, though.
Okay.
The Cascadia Subduction Zone is a 600-mile fault. Not my fault, just a fault.
Okay.
Where the Juan de Fuca plate dives under the North American plate. Okay, that's the whole subduction. It goes underneath. It's one of the most powerful tectonic boundaries on Earth, and it's responsible for much of the shaping of the Pacific Northwest, from mountain building to earthquakes to coastal uplift. It's the engine behind our landscape. And guess what? As geocachers, we interact with it as a result every time we head outside.
Indeed. So as Chris said, it's a subduction zone. So what does that mean? It means there's 2 plates that are coming at each other. Well, actually, one is coming at the other. And it is because of subduction. So one plate is getting pushed underneath the other plate. So the other plate's like, nope, not today. So as the plates do that, there is pressure. That pressure builds up. Every once in a while, that pressure releases. Maybe not as dramatic as my hands made it look, but it can be messy and very on brand for the Pacific Northwest. But, ground just reminds us who's in charge.
If it was like your hands just did, we would have blown away 3 Western states.
Well, it could happen.
Okay.
Good. And 1 province.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
Now, the last major quake on all of this was in 1700. We know this because I was in middle school at the time and remember looking under the desk. Now we know that because Japan recorded the tsunami. It kind of looked like this. Anyway,
But wetter.
but wetter, yeah, yes. Well, that was the quake that caused the tsunami. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we see evidence of ghost forests. These are stands of trees that just suddenly died when the land beneath them dropped away. Kind of like Wile E. Coyote just spinning his legs in midair. I think that's what I picture when it says.
And then they
dropped
look
away.
down and go, "Hey,
Yeah,
where'd the land go?"
that's
And
right.
then an anvil comes down.
That's right. But this is a reminder that the landscape is always changing, and even if we don't notice it day to day, it's changing. Earth caches often highlight those subtle clues, so I will never know about them. But they help us read the geological history written across the region. Like it or not, like them or not, Earth caches are one of the best ways to learn about geology while doing something fun. They take scientific concepts and anchor them in real places, which makes learning feel, well, more natural. Kind of like the way I read this paragraph that I've never seen before. When you're standing in front of a cliff or a lava flow, the explanation suddenly clicks. Kind of like Land Monkey's little hand gesture demonstration. It's like a field trip without the school bus, which that's a good thing. And the logging tasks help reinforce what you've learned.
That's right. Just finding our way, says Wits End Earthcache logs must be a hoot.
Indeed they are.
Yeah, they usually read found with Land Monkey.
Send answers for all of us. Yeah. TFTC. TFTEC.
Yes.
So Wits End, if you remember, the Cascadia earthquake was at January 26th at approximately 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you were
depends,
late at
you know.
school,
Yeah. Well,
as
I
per
had,
usual.
I had detention. Yeah. I wasn't going to go into there, but thanks for pointing that out.
Thanks a lot, chat lackey. All right.
So many earth caches are going to guide you through the features you might otherwise just walk past without even noticing. They turn outdoors into a classroom and help you understand the forces that shape this landscape. It's a great way to deepen your appreciation for the places you explore. Isn't that right, Land Monkey?
It is. Some earth caches, particularly up around here. There are some that highlight lava tubes, plenty that highlight glacial valleys, ancient riverbeds. My gosh, maybe even the occasional erratic, glacial erratic. But, we'll see. But all of these are in some way or another related to the geomorphology of the area, and the geomorphology is shaped by the plate tectonics. So it's kind of a causality kind of thing. Earth caches, the whole point is to make you look a little more closely at the area we're in, give you some questions that you might not have considered before. They can be challenging. They can be rewarding if you accept the challenge. And more often than not, you'll walk away knowing more than you did going in. That is the magic of earth caching. And I have a note here that says a visual timeline of PNW eruptions. Is there something you're going to share with us?
I'm still hanging on the geomorphology. That's a great word.
Isn't that a fun word? Yeah.
NW Cat says, now, Jay, don't get all erratic on us.
Nah, I won't.
Wait, you can have an earth cache that doesn't involve a glacial erratic?
Yeah. Good luck getting one published today that does involve a glacial erratic. I can tell you that much.
Okay, so let's do a quick walk through time, not with a map, with the landscape as our guide. The PNW has been shaped by eruptions, both big and small, and they leave a mark we can still see today if we pay attention. Picture the timeline stretching out in front of you like a trail through history. Every stop is a moment where the Earth decided to rewrite the scenery. Okay, let's start, I don't know, 7,700 years ago? Wits End, you were still alive.
I was, yeah. Mount Mazama. It just sounds great. Mount Mazama is in Crater Lake. It's one of the largest eruptions in North America's recent history, just 7,700 years ago. Mount Mazama erupted so violently that the entire summit collapsed, forming Crater Lake. Ash from this eruption spread across the continent. Imagine a column of ash rising 30 miles into the sky, darkening the region for days. Today, that caldera holds one of the clearest lakes on Earth.
Isn't that funny? Look at that. There's some ash in Edmonton because of that.
Fascinating. Very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, anybody who has had the opportunity to go down to Crater Lake, it's a fascinating place to go visit. Explore. Have you guys both been there?
I have. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been a while. Maybe I should go back. I don't know if I was earth caching. I don't know if I was geocaching at the time.
I know I wasn't. Swing by on your way to Vail Mount.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all in the way, right?
Wait.
Central Oregon, Central BC. Yeah.
Close.
Same thing.
Same time zone. How far apart could they be?
Yeah. Right. Well, same time zone for now. Anyways. All right. Well, continuing our movement through time here. So we were, Mount Mazama, the eruption there 7,700 years ago. Well, let's move let's fire up the Wayback Machine here. Hold on. All right. That'll take us to our next stop, which is 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. It's a bit of a range. That's years.
Well, not in the whole scheme of things, but
somewhere in a 1,000-year time range. Let's talk about Mount Hood. And the reason that we say a 1,000-year time range is because there was a series of events here. When Mount Hood was particularly active, it produced a series of lava domes and pyroclastic flows that reshaped the upper slopes. Not the explosive Hollywood-style eruptions, but more so slow, powerful smooshes of molten rock, thick, pasty lava oozing upwards like a geological bulldozer. I guess think more like Hawaiian-style lava flow eruptions, but on a much larger scale. The modern profile of Mount Hood comes from those steady, forceful events. And it was a builder as much as it was a destroyer of worlds.
Now I am the destroyer of worlds. Okay. A mere 2,500 years ago, we focus on Mount St. Helens. Now, not that recent Mount St. Helens explosion. We're going to talk about one a little more distant in time. This sent ash across the region and created deposits that are still visible today. It was one of the largest eruptions in the Cascades during that period. Imagine the mountain roaring to life and reshaping the landscape in mere hours. It set the stage for its modern reputation. Yes, it has a reputation.
It does indeed. Yeah. And it's lived up to that reputation right in the modern times, hasn't it?
At least in 1980.
Yeah. Let's fast forward, say, another 1,000 years. A mere 1,500 years ago, not to be outdone by Mount Hood, Mount St. Helens, Mount Baker decided to get into the action and experienced a series of steam-driven explosions. So we've moved into the steam era.
Steampunk era.
Steampunk mountains.
Yes. These blasts were caused by superheated groundwater flashing into steam. They carved craters and sent debris down the mountain's flanks. You can think of it as the mountain venting pressure as sudden bursts. Mount Baker still emits heat and gas today.
And so do you.
Some say. Pull my finger.
I'm going to pause here for a moment because one thing I'm noticing, and it's probably just by basis of the research that was done to pull the show notes together, but this range and the Cascade range that these mountains are all in, and the Cascadia subduction zone itself extends outside of Washington and Oregon. But you'll notice that we're only talking about eruptions that happened in modern day Washington and Oregon. So I want to point out there are also things that happened in British Columbia, probably Northern California as well. But for the purposes of the Caching in the Northwest podcast tonight, we're just going to focus on the events in Washington and Oregon.
Yeah. Any of them in California were Gavin Newsom's fault anyway. So
again. All right. All right. So with that caveat out there, which now prompts me like, I'm going to do a little research after the show and, or maybe during the after show and pull up anything else. Yes. What you're hearing is Mount Adams needs an Earthcache. Yeah. Well, if it doesn't have one, yes, it does. All right. Well, let's roll up, let's jump 500 years forwards to 1,000 years ago and talk about Mount Rainier, the Osceola Lahar. Lahars are cool. You guys familiar with Lahar?
Only because, I've done earth caches in the area that I've learned about Lahars. And actually, where I live is, in danger of being Laharified. Oh, the Lahar of it all.
The Lahar. Yes. So about 1,000 years ago, Mount Rainier produced a massive Lahar, which is basically a gigantic heated mudslide. Mud, rock, water moving faster than you can run, usually around 100 kilometers an hour. I see 70 miles an hour here. Yeah. I don't know if there's like a specific measurement it has to exceed to be a Lahar. But they move fast. They're hot. They're messy. They're quite a pain in the ass. So, generally I would say avoid a Lahar if you can.
They're like trying to stop a freight train, or like 10 freight trains, like 1,000 freight trains. They're
full of superheated mud.
Yeah. They're no fun.
You're not going to stop them.
No. So if you look at Mount Rainier and go, I want to say northwest, right? From Rainier out to like Commencement Bay around
Puget Sound. Yeah.
Puget Sound. Yeah. You can see the path of this Lahar. It's just etched it out. That's why we have a lot of valleys right in that area.
There you go. So we got Alondra says all a Lahar needs is heat and mass. Okay, good to clarify that. And Keats defines it as a no fun mud bath. I like that.
There you go. Yeah. If you live down in the Ording area, I don't think you're going to have much time to react.
No.
You're going to be like Alderon.
The weather report for Alderon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good gag.
Okay, so we'll go on to Mount Hood's Old Maid eruption.
Oh.
And this is much more recent. In 1780, Mount Hood produced the Old Maid eruption, creating a fresh lava dome and sending pyroclastic, not the pyroplastic that we have to clean up today. The pyroclastic flows down the slopes. Right? That's melted plastic you put in a fire. It's pyroclastic. Yeah.
Gotcha.
These deposits reshape the Sandy River area. So picture clouds of glowing ash and gas racing down the mountain. It's one of the most recent major eruptions in Oregon. And the landscape still carries that signature.
That would have been freaky to experience that. And 1780, there would have been European settlers in Oregon and such by then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would assume so. Yeah. Yeah.
So it wouldn't just be First Nations accounts. There would be European accounts as well of that. Not to dismiss First Nations accounts, but I'm just thinking that.
No, but just those in the boats off the shore, right? In the ships offshore are the ones that are able to record what happened.
Yeah, for that. Yeah, clearly. That would have been insane.
Yeah. IHAM says both Ordine and Sumner sit on many, many meters of Lahar debris.
Yeah.
There you go. Which would probably be a real PETA if you're trying to build something there.
That's right. Or it might be really easy if you want to put an Earthcache there.
Maybe.
Could be beneficial that way. All right. Well, moving into the modern era, just the 20th century here, 1980, May 18th to be specific, Mount St. Helens produced the largest landslide ever recorded, followed by a lateral blast that flattened forests and reshaped the mountain. The ash cloud rose 15 miles into the atmosphere, and I'm told was visible in Ohio.
It was.
Yeah.
I reported that.
This you did. That's where I heard it.
It's visible in Victoria, I can tell you that.
Yeah. That ash circled the globe and changed how we study volcanoes. Today, the area is a living laboratory of regrowth. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly the Earth can change. And I'm sure many of you already know, but it also contributed the lumber to build the Tacoma Dome.
Yes.
There you go.
All those trees that
So
were
if you
knocked
have
down.
a major building project that you want, just wait for the next major volcanic eruption and harvest all of the fallen timber. Piece of cake.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Do it. Alondro says the last Cascadia quake was June 6th, January 26th, 1700. His birthday, by the way.
Oh,
Wow.
he's
So
almost as old
he's-
as I am.
Yeah, 326 years old.
Okay, so let's jump to where we can actually see some of these things in Washington State. Okay. We're focusing on Washington State. I'll admit to
Yes.
that. Okay. So we can see the effects of the Cascadia subduction zone. That's the CSZ. If I throw the
Thank
Z
you.
in there,
I appreciate that. Thank
See,
you.
folks, he can be trained.
for one episode. So this is where the landscape shows itself in direct physical evidence. Okay, we'll talk about 8 areas. Let's start with the Copalis Ghost Forest. This is from the 1700 earthquake, right? We talked about that. It's one of the most dramatic pieces in Washington. It's where the land suddenly dropped during the 1700 megathrust earthquake. I don't know if I can say that on a family-friendly podcast. Drowning the entire stand of Sitka spruce. The trees died almost instantly as salt water flooded in, and their stumps still stand today in the tidal flats. So that's, over 300 years of wood stuck in salt water. It's being preserved. It's just kind of interesting. It's haunting, powerful reminder of how quickly the landscape can change. And it's one of the clearest windows into the Cascadia's seismic past. Now, this is on the Copalis River in Washington, near ocean shores. You see stumps of the ancient trees killed suddenly where the land dropped, and it's a haunting visual reminder. It's one of the most iconic visual reminders. There's an Earthcache there that really brings the science to life. That is GC1 Alpha 5 Delta 8. It's the Copalis Ghost Forest. Walks you through how the subsidence happened, how tsunami evidence preserved, and how scientists dated the 1700 quake using tree rings. It's a perfect example of geography, history, and geocaching coming together.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's I don't think I've visited that one before. I have to check that out, see if we have been there and I just forgot about it. But that sounds fascinating. And I love when you can see something that really just like, can you imagine, like, if you didn't really understand what had happened historically and you came to that area, you're like, what the heck? You're looking at this area. It's like, somebody went and cut down a bunch of trees and just like, this is weird, right? Trying to figure out. So it had taken a while for people to wrap their heads around what the heck had happened there. It's quite fascinating. Let's talk about another area that I have been to, and it's just an absolutely stunningly beautiful area. We were talking about the OP earlier. Well, Cape Flattery and Nia Bay have examples of uplifted marine terraces. So in the far northwest corner of the state, Cape Flattery and Nia Bay, where you can literally stand on ancient shorelines that have been lifted up by the repeating megathrust earthquakes. They look like giant steps carved into the coastline. Each one marks a different uplift event. It's like the earth keeps leaving behind little "you were here" markers every few centuries, and provides amazing views. So again, northwestern tip of Washington near Nia Bay, Cape Flattery. What you'll see are the stair-step type shelves, the terraces that have been lifted upwards by repeated CSZ earthquakes, and clear evidence that the coastline has been rising in pulses over the thousands of years. They're classic subduction zone uplift features. And there is, of course, an Earthcache there. It is GC2 Echo 5 CM. Sorry. Charlie Mike. Usually I'm on top of this. It's just not connecting today. Anyways, so that is Cape Flattery, the beginning of the world, it's called. It explains how that all happened. There's another one nearby, GC1Z Bravo 6 X-ray, Nia Bay Tectonic Terraces. So check out those if you are going into the Cape Flattery Nia Bay area, which is just a beautiful place to visit anyways.
Yeah, I've done the loop around the peninsula that way and driven all the way out to the point. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I think it was before caching when I was out there, but
What's the point?
I know.
Sounds like you're due.
Must be time to go back. Moving inland a bit from there, we meet the Hoh and Quinault River valleys, which show another side of Cascadia's influence. These valleys are carved into rock that's being pushed upward faster than the rivers can keep up, which creates steep walls and constantly shifting channels. It's a landscape in motion shaped by both tectonics and erosion. Twofold there. You can see terraces, benches, river scars, and they all tell the story of uplift over thousands of years. It's subtle, but once you know what to look for, well, it's everywhere. So just head out to the Western Olympic Peninsula. You'll see steep, rapidly eroding river valleys, terraces, benches showing alternating uplift and subsidence, and river channels that shift dramatically after major seismic cycles. These valleys sit directly above the locked portion of the CSZ. So you have to, complete the challenge before unlocking the next level, apparently. Strain builds there, and University of Washington research shows this northern segment is tightly locked and accumulating pressure. Think back to Land Monkey's little tension and release tension demonstration. Yeah. There's a great earthquake in this area as well. It's GC1 Alpha 1 Echo 3, the Hoh Rainforest River Dynamics. It explains how the river responds to uplift and why the valley looks the way it does. Another one, very similar in number, GC1 Alpha 1 Echo 0, Quinault Valley Geology, and it highlights glacial and tectonic forces working together, just like the three of us work together to bring you this wonderful podcast. These caches make the landscape feel alive, because it is.
Now let's move to the Olympic Mountains. We're going to see an accreditation. No, I had it right earlier. A accretionary wedge. This is basically where that plate that goes underneath is being scraped off, and we see ocean floor sediment on mountaintops. Right?
That's pretty cool.
Isn't it though? I mean, when you think about it, you're going, wait a minute, why am I seeing ocean fossils from the bottom of an ocean on top of a mountain? So the result is a mountain range. It shouldn't exist, but it does. You go anywhere in the Olympic Peninsula, you're going to see a mountain range made of ocean floor, basalt, marine sediments, and accretionary wedge material shoved upwards. Rocks that absolutely do not belong on land, unless, just to happen to be a subduction zone nearby that put them there. The Olympics are a textbook example of an accretionary wedge caused by CSZ. So Earth caches in this area are GC Alpha 1. 1 Alpha 1 Delta 9. Hurricane Ridge, accretionary wedge. It explains how the Olympics were built and why their rocks are so different from the others in the Cascade. And, these must be similar. GC 1 Alpha 1 Delta A, Lake Crescent tectonic origins, which highlights the faulting and uplift tied to the CSZ.
It's funny how many of these we're finding are, whoever put out the Earth caches put out a couple right at the same time.
Yeah.
More or less, it looks like.
When you're studying it, you get, this happened too, and so did this. And,
But and the other thing I would say is it seems a lot of these spots so far that we've been covering are out in the Olympic Peninsula, Hurricane Ridge, Lake Crescent, and again, just beautiful areas to go to and visit. So, even if you're not into the geology that we're spouting off about tonight, go check out these places, learn a little bit from the Earth caches, but just enjoy some beautiful places in Washington. All right. Okay, let's talk about the fiery side of subduction. Let's talk about some of the Cascade volcanoes. So, we named a few of them: Rainier, St. Helens, Baker, Adams, Glacier Peak. They're all fueled by the melting of the subducting Wanda Fuka plate. And, they're the mountains at the surface. They're an expression of the subduction. They're giant pressure valves where the pressure gets released from this high pressure situation here. All right. Again, if you go to any of these mountains, Rainier, St. Helens, Adams, Baker, Glacier Peak, many of them will have earth caches. These are all active stratovolcanoes. They're fueled by the melting of the subduction of the Wanda Fuka plate. They're part of a arc of volcanoes that they're the surface signature that there is subduction happening well below them. They all have, as we discussed earlier, have been evidenced by lahars, lava flows, ash deposits. These are all CSZ-related processes. The Cascades exist because of the CSZ. So let's jump to some earth caches here. And again, there's many more than these, but we'll just cite a few. GC1 Alpha 1 Foxtrot 7, that's the 1980 eruption overview for Mount St. Helens. GC1 Alpha 1 Foxtrot 8, Johnston Ridge. For Mount Rainier, GC1 Alpha 1 Foxtrot 0. Okay, these were all put out at the same time.
Has to be, yeah.
Sunrise on Mount Rainier. Sunrise is a beautiful spot on Mount Rainier. As is the next one, GC1 Alpha 1 Foxtrot 3, Paradise, another great area, glacial and volcanic interactions. And hey, if you're going to head on out to Mount Baker, where we did an Earth Cache Day visit once with some friends, GC1 Alpha 1 Echo 9, volcanic arc geology. So yeah, some great earth caches to visit on volcanoes.
All right, well, let's leave Land Monkey in the volcanoes there.
As a sacrifice?
I'm going to head back out to the coast because, well, the Washington coastline is one of the most dynamic in the country, thanks to the CSZ. If you head out there, you're going to see coastlines rising, sinking, shifting, all because of tectonic activity. Sand spits form and disappear. Tide flats expand and drown. It's amazing time. And the USGS notes that the Washington coast is extremely, this is a quote, extremely complex and changeable because of tectonic activity, unquote. So these areas are where uplift and subsidence from CSZ strain are most visible. There are two earth caches specifically that capture this beautifully. GC1 Alpha 5 Echo 0, that's ocean shores, coastal change, and GC1 Alpha 5 Delta Foxtrot Westport, tsunami and coastal geology. Both of those explain how tectonic forces, storms, and sediment movement interact. They're great reminders that the coastline is never finished. It's always rewriting itself.
Let's stay on the coast for a moment, will you? Will you
Sure,
go with
like
me
the
to La Pouche, I think it's French, La Pouche, and Rialto Beach. They're both showcasing some of the most iconic coastal geology in the state. The sea stacks here are made of tough, resilient rocks that have been uplifted and exposed by subduction-driven compression. The waves carve away the softer material, leaving behind these dramatic pillars. It's a landscape shaped both by tectonics and erosion. And you go see this at Olympic National Park on the coast there. Sea stacks made of these rocks. You can see headlands rising faster than the sea erodes them, and tilted and folded rock layers showing compressional forces. These formations are classic signs of active convergent margin. I didn't know what a convergent margin was. So the earth caches here are GC 1 Alpha 1 Delta 5 Rialto Beach sea stack formation and GC 1 Alpha 1 Delta 6 La Pouche tectonic coastline. You'll see how they're tied to the CSZ.
Let's bring Land Monkey from the volcanoes out to the coast with us.
Okay. I missed you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Thanks for inviting me out. Yeah. And again, right, like just highlighting some beautiful places to go. I mean, sea stacks are so amazing to observe, even if you don't care about how they came to be. Just beautiful areas to go to.
I mean, Cannon Beach is the first one you think of.
Yes, classic there. Well, and for me up here in British Columbia, there's some amazing locations, particularly on Western Vancouver Island as well. But anyhow, I digress. Why don't we finish up here with a trip over to Willapa Bay and Grays Harbor?
I'm going to 1 second because we used to play them in basketball, and I was once corrected when I talked about Willapa Bay, and I was corrected and told it's Willapa Bay.
Willapa.
Yes, some
I've never heard of Willapa.
First Nation heritage descendant said, nope, it's Willapa. Now, they could have been wrong, and therefore my correction to you is wrong, but that's what I was told.
I am well known for frequently mispronouncing Washington State location names, so I will gratefully accept the correction. And if any of our listeners want to correct the correction, we invite the feedback.
Those responsible have been sacked.
That's right. So it was Willapa?
Willapa, that's what I was told.
Willapa Bay and Grays Harbor, spelled Willapa. All right. Yes, there you go. 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask a question, or provide a correction any time of the day or night. Thank you very much. So yes, we're going to head to that area where the ground holds a geological barcode of past megathrust earthquakes. There's thin layers of tsunami-deposited sand buried in peat, marking each major Cascadia event. Well, that's interesting. That would be fascinating to see. The sand sheets are some of the strongest evidence we have for the CSZ's repeating cycle of massive quakes. Subtle, but incredibly important. It's like reading the earthquake history of the region in a cross section. So I guess imagine if you just sort of cut the land straight down. Like a layer cake, indeed.
I like it.
So thin layers of sand buried amongst the peat. So you get a layer of sand that washes in with the tsunami. Then the peat deposits, grows up. Oh, tsunami. And
it's not a good cake to eat. I wasn't saying that, but
gritty.
It's like a layer cake. Yeah.
Very underbaked and very gritty. Yes. But yeah, so you can sort of picture what that would look like. That'd be pretty neat. And if you want to see it in real life, well, head out to GC1 Alpha 5 Echo 3, Willapa Bay Tsunami Evidence, and GC1 Alpha 5 Echo 1. And yes, again, all of these earth caches were put out at the same time. Grays Harbor Sand Sheet Stratigraphy. You can walk through how scientists identify and date the layers. So that sounds like a lot of fun.
You got all the fun words tonight.
I know, right? This is like practice for me going back to editing my book.
And, I have simple words that I just can't pronounce. So,
but you've been doing well on the hard words.
So that's going to do it for tonight's episode. I thought this was fascinating. I learned a lot about the region that I live in that, maybe I need to do an earth cache or two more to figure this out. So, because the Pacific Northwest tells a story in the ground beneath our feet. Geocachers need to get there and read each chapter. So earth caches from volcanic ridges to geology is woven into the adventures. It's part of what makes caching so special right out here.
It really is. And whether you're logging an earth cache, hiking a lava flow, or maybe you're just admiring the landscape, take a moment and appreciate the forces that shaped it. The Pacific Northwest is a living, evolving region, and understanding that adds depth to every find, even non-earth cache finds. It's one more reason to love geocaching right here in the great Pacific Northwest.
Indeed. And if that ground starts shaking, don't come knocking. No. How does it? Remember to sign the log before you're on. No, just kidding. Stay safe, stay curious, keep exploring, and have fun. Learn a thing or two if you want. And, keep your eye out. Hopefully coming later this year, there'll be a great book available via the GSA on earth caches. I know a guy. Anyways. But yeah, I think we've got our extra news story here. If we want to run through that, we've got our list of.
I was going to pop in with Fear the Tubas, saying this topic is very inspiring. I might have to pursue this more.
There you go.
Awesome.
Mission accomplished.
And if we want to go back,
yes,
CRS 98. He apparently doesn't pay 65 cents for a Twinkie anymore. I had to archive my Mount Rainier Earthcache that dealt with the fact that the riverbed kept rising due to all the stuff from Rainier that filled up the bed. Access to the Earthcache washed out with a bridge.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, as we said, it is an ever-evolving landscape here, right?
Indeed.
Oh, one more from Fear the Tubas. Sorry, Land Monkey, this is covering you up. The best tectonic movement demonstration I've done involved graham crackers frosted with yogurt or icing. When you shove them together, the shapes they create are so interesting. Subduction included.
Sounds tasty.
Yum. Yes.
Tasty to clean up.
Indeed. That's a great example. I have to look into that a little bit more to see how that particular experiment would work.
There you
Okay,
go.
any more?
Yeah.
Oh.
Land Monkey, you need to pronounce this county.
Wakayakam?
Waikiacum is how I would go.
Wakayakam.
Waikiacum.
That's what I've always heard, yes.
There you go.
Okay, so let's close the show and then we'll do the Maker Magic in the after show.
That sounds like a great idea. Why don't we do
Okay.
Folks, thanks. Oh, for tuning in to this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Thanks. Bye. Are you still here? All right. All right. We want to take a moment to thank Landsharks, Cashly, and Tourism Valemount, our corporate Denali level sponsors. Landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online. And remember, they're shipping those online orders daily. Cashly is the geocaching app for iOS. Get that and hashtag #TakeWitsEndCaching. And whether you're seeking outdoor thrills or just a peaceful retreat, Valemount awaits you, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And by the way, Cashly is very good for doing earth caches.
Ah, good.
Is there anything it's not good at?
You know what?
No.
You know what might be a good episode?
It's not good for conserving memory when you have to download maps and counties and all the other things.
There you go. I wonder if we invite Nick back on the podcast sometime, and instead of just talking about the new release, talk about like finding specific cache types and how to do that best using Cashly. That might be interesting.
That could be fun.
I like it because, I use like the cache notes for puzzles. I use the cache notes to stick in the answers that I'm writing out and then copy that and send it, So anyway.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we also want to thank our other Denali level supporters, and that is Cool Cow Cachers, Hawaiian Maile, Alondro, and Retired Guy. And I think I've seen almost all of them, if not all of them, in the show tonight in the chat, which is
Quite a
cool.
few, yeah.
And folks, if you want to know more about supporting the show, well, click the Patreon link on the cachingandw.com website.
Yeah, just like
these people.
That's right. Kid Vegas 19.
Gundark 2000.
Just keep going. Add those zeros. Limax.
Geo Karen.
And Teus.
Green Words.
Just Carlo.
LG 9000.
Just finding our way.
Genies.
GSM ×2.
JT Coffee. Hey, JT Coffee, check your whiteboard.
Skyhawker.
Mountain bike.
Alan.
Railroad.
Subway Mark.
Flagman.
You talks to rocks.
Wet coaster.
Korsgat.
Boomer 365.
NW Cats.
Dora Moore.
The Caching Cants.
M Nerve.
GeoBirder.
J Car.
Logwork.
Not sure if he still has power to watch, but hopefully you're safe and warm. Starcacher.
Whidbey Island Gal.
Trexer.
Terrible lunch. Great guy. Gas station tuna.
Lost Kin.
I wonder if he has power. B Pendragon.
Maybe.
Don't know. JR and Juju.
I saw this one in the chat. CRS 98.
Seebeck Tribe.
Saw our last weekend. Geocaches.
Keats 94.
Saw them in the chat. Camp Kalan.
And thanks for the great feedback tonight about graham cracker experiments. Fear the tubas.
Terrible Teas.
Peach of Washington.
Kitty Quest.
Folks, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link somewhere on that CachingNW.com webpage. Better yet, you can share your ideas for things we can talk about. If you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a review. Those reviews are important. Let me illustrate how important these reviews would be. Now, if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. You can also call in, and I will talk just like that if you don't. You can call in to 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask a question, or rock our world any time of the day or night. Earthcache humor. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific for a live show and chat. This show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, Jake Kennedy, and Brian Lang. It's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2026 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for
The after show.
Show went long. I hurried up.
Wow, I get tired.
Going on.
Yes.
Well
done. GSM times 2 will be hosting an event on Sunday in Los Angeles about NFC tags. If you want to go, that's a GC Bravo Kilo November Juliet Alpha.
All right. Cool. Very cool.
And then he's presenting at Larry the Pool Guy's event in one of my favorite city names ever, Rancho Cucamonga.
Yes.
On Sunday. That is GC Bravo Kilo 9 Alpha Romeo.
Nice.
I don't know
Very
if it
cool.
still is their name or not, but the minor league baseball team in Rancho Cucamonga were the Cucamonga Quakes.
Oh,
nice.
Speaking
How on theme.
Yes, very on theme. All right. Well, hey, we did get a list of moving, major, minor,
Yes.
maker, magic,
Let's
Morpheus
jump into
events.
Morpheus events.
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to come up with M words. Marvelous. Magnificent. How about Maker Magic making Earth caches for Earth Day? That's April 17th in Renton, hosted by Ham Hippo. Do you want me to plow through these, or do we want to round robin them?
What do you want to do, Chris?
Let's round robin. I'll go
Okay.
next. Maker Magic at the Gadget Shop, April 18th in Graham, hosted by Bounce Bounce and Goblin Dust. I'll be at that one.
Cool.
Very good. Maker Magic event, monthly Cache Makers Meetup number 6, April 18th in Kirkland, Washington, hosted by Heart of Oak, which is, by the way, an HQ lackey.
Oh, not met that lucky. That'd be fun. Maker Magic using AI in cache creation, April 18th in Coos Bay, Oregon, hosted by Emily Renee. I think that's how you pronounce that.
That is. Watchdog Mike's Maker Magic event, April 18th in Snohomish, Washington.
And the host is Watchdog Mike, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
Mike.
Watchdog Mike.
All right.
All right. Maker Magic ideas on how to make a puzzle page fun, April 19th. Oh, up in our neck of the woods in Coquitlam, BC, hosted by Soupy58.
Let's chat about 3D printed caches. That Maker Magic event is April 19th in Port Orchard. It's hosted by Gear Guru, who is, by the way, another HQ lackey.
Indeed.
Maker Magic, a painting we will go, hosted April 21st in Victoria, BC, hosted by Denali level supporter Land Sharks.
Nice.
Excellent. Magic Maker. They threw me off there. They switched the words around. Magic Maker in Washington, April 23rd in Spokane, Washington, hosted by the Inland Empire Chapter WSGA. Very cool.
Very nice. Very nice. Crossing the border there, over in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, there's a Maker Magic event on April 24th, hosted by Martin 5.
Next, we get a Maker Magic Build a Birdhouse cache, April 25th in that Spokane, Washington, hosted by Cruisin' for Cash.
Very fun. I'm sorry. I just really enjoy pronouncing. I know it's Spokane, but I love pronouncing it Spokane.
Spokane.
Spokane. That's good too. All right. Hey, another one, because there's still more to come, folks. A Modest Maker Magic Mingle, April 25th in Seattle, Washington, hosted by GeoChed and yet another HQ lackey. And hey, if you have not done the HQ Geo Tour and a visit to the Visitor Center at HQ, well, if you do that, you will meet Geo Judd.
All right, those lackeys, they
And
like
the
to host
Secret
things.
Adventure Lab.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, those lackeys are great hosts.
Yes.
All right. April 26th in Medford, Oregon. Poof! It's Maker Magic, baby. That one's hosted by _socks_. I don't know if the underscore
Because
is
the socks
supposed to
go on
be
the bottom.
pronounced. Oh, is that how it goes? Yeah.
That's fun. Poof, it's Maker Magic, baby.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
it.
How about Maker Magic making a geocache? April 27th in Abbotsford, BC, hosted by the Lower Mainland Cache Bash 9 organizers. Isn't that the Land Monkey Cache Bash 9?
Nope, it's
Okay.
not. And the last one here is oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I like this one.
Okay, it's going to be in Redmond, Washington, hosted by Geo51. It is Maker Magic Geocaching 101, submitting a cache. What a great idea. There you go. So actually, there's a lot of diversity in ideas people have come up with for these. Try and get out to as many as you can. Obviously, the first one you get to and log your attended, you will get the Maker Magic souvenir, which is great. We all love those digital souvenirs. But I think there's a lot to learn through these events. And I credit all the different hosts for being creative.
That's right. Well, with that, lots of events going on in Washington. Flagman is hosting one in San Diego on the 18th. I think I could make it if I leave right now. But that's probably not going to happen.
Probably.
Yeah. So lots going on. Find a Maker Magic event in your area. You're not going to regret it.
Indeed.
Folks, once again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode. We've already done that. I still thank you. And
should we get out there and do something?
Yeah. Until next week, go to a Maker Magic event and get out and get caching in the Northwest.